So yeah, Akshay, thank you for taking out the time for giving us this review. You have some amazing admits already, HKU, HKUST, NTU, all with scholarships, right? So you have a good predicament as to which school to choose, right? That's a great thing to have, right? So again, a small review from our side, a few questions for others, to help others understand how we were able to help you, and if you would recommend us someone.
For sure.
So starting out, how was your experience with MiM-Essay?
Basically before I chose to go with MIM services, I was pretty much a blank slate and trying to figure out how to go about the process. And it's not like really a tangible process that you have to fill this form and get this reviewed and then pay this fee or something like that. It's an open sky project. You have to really dig deep and build a profile and really get to know the schools and get to know what aligns with your career goals. So you really need somebody who has been through that process multiple times and to give you like a strategic view and a sort of a direction, a general direction to build on from there, right? And that is something that I was lacking in my previous attempts to make an application for a B school. But since I got on board with MIM reviews, I really found that thing that I was lacking, right? The direction, the strategic direction that I needed to build an application. And Abhyank was taking charge of that, and he really helped me and made the process easier to really make it a fun process rather than a painstaking process to make a B school application.
Okay, perfect. So how did they add value to your application?
I think for any B school application, you need to know where to start. And that starting point is something that somebody needs to define for you, right? Because you don't really know the process until you have been through it. And when somebody who has done it multiple times and has the learning curve, it saves a great deal of time and effort to really get a head start. And that is the head start that you have provided me in the process. So I don't know if I can put a price on that value, but it's been invaluable for me.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Okay, so what did you like the best about a service?
The best part about your service would be a couple of things. Firstly, I would say that given how the whole process of MBA applications is a blue sky project, right? So it's not a tangible process, but then you've still added or managed to add a bit of structure or a method to the madness by having these structured templates that you have. Then you have these chronological processes. Once you get on board, you have these templates that you need to fill, which basically analyzes your whole life career goals in a Excel format, right? And that gives you a great deal of idea or a bird's eye view to how you want to proceed with the process and to get to know yourself basically. And that's something that was required for me to have a structure, and that really helped me. And then once that structure was set, then there's the as I said, that there's a chronological process. Then you get on with the brainstorming calls, wherein we go through these points and tailor it to the school. So that really helped to make the application for a particular school, right? Because you've done XYZ things in life, but which ones are relevant for the school and the school that you're targeting? So that's something that that could happen only during the brainstorming calls that we had. And once those brainstorming calls were done, we had the essays, right, that we had to write. And nobody is a wordsmith or a Shakespeare to get the essays right in the first go. So having an unlimited essay review in the service was actually the icing in the cake, because I remember I had like some 7-8 edits for just a single essay. And I don't think there's any consulting service that gives so many edits, because it's revenue negative, right? A lot of time being consumed. But then again, having those unlimited essay edits were a really important thing for me. So all in all, the whole combined package really worked well for me.
Perfect, awesome. Right. Last question. What do you say to people if they're wondering, should they try us or not? Especially because, like some of people ask us, because you're MiM-Essay, right? So will you be able to help us with the MBA applications or not, right? So what would you say to them?
Well, to be honest, I was very skeptical myself.
Yeah.
When I went, when I was hunting for somebody to guide me for my MBA applications.
Exactly. Yeah.
Then again, when we had that first call for that complimentary service that you provided to actually help with the planning, to get started for the MBA applications, that really resonated with me. That I could really trust you with the application, and you know what you're doing. So that kind of that credibility was built on the first call itself.
Right.
And since then, I have spoken to many consultants, and nobody could really build that credibility on the first call. They pretty much had their own incentives to do that call. But you still, you gave me the list of colleges that I can target without even, me applying for service. So that kind of credibility built on, and the trust was established on the first call itself. And that is all I needed for, going ahead with the whole service. And it's obviously borne a lot of fruits. So I would say it was a good call. So anybody who's really, preparing or searching for some guidance with their MBA applications, they can, go ahead with blind trust, I would say.
Yeah, because a lot of people, because we start with the MIM as such and because of the name, right? A lot of people are really thinking, okay, will you be able to help us for MPhil, MEM, MBA applications, whatever? But in the end, what people need to understand is that, it's the same thing, right? Frankly, it does not matter which degree you're applying for. If you know how to present your essays, you know how to edit it, you know how to brainstorm, everything works out.
Exactly, like you said, right? The core is the same.
Exactly.
You just add a little bit of, build on you tailor the applications for the particular course. But, in essence, they really want to know what kind of a person you are and what value add that you will bring to the table. And, and you need somebody who has done it multiple times. And I think you're the right guy to do it, man.
Perfect. Thank you, Akshay. Thank you for taking out the time for the recording. Yeah.
No problem,
Much
man.
appreciated.